Come on, don't get funny with me. All right, everybody. What is good? Oh my God. It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, the man, Lincoln Clay. We are back with another live stream. This time we are checking out Automobilista 2. And I guess to tell you one of my old VR war stories, um, which you guys have heard me tell it before, but the first time I ever tried VR was at Best Buy when the original PSVR was being demoed a couple of months before release. And for like 5 weeks in a row, I think we went to Best Buy to try out PSVR because my son kept wanting to try it out. And when we got there, I would always check out EVO. I remember, being wowed by it, but not enough to feel like I wanted VR, but my son wanted VR. And that's really what got me into VR, is that my son wanted it. I thought it was a neat thing, but I wasn't interested in it to the point that I felt like I had to have one. And so when I saw Valkyrie, I was wowed by it, but the first thing also hit my head is that it looked blurry, it looked grainy, and it looked PS3-ish. So I think that was another thing that contributed to me not feeling like I absolutely had to have VR. But so fast forward, I get my son a VR, give it to him for Christmas. It came with a demo disc that lets you sample like 7 or 8 different games in VR, and one of them was the Drive Club VR, and that gave me my first big wow moment in VR, to sit inside a car to go 200 miles an hour. But yeah, once again, it was blurry. It was one of the most amazing feelings that I ever had, followed by one of the worst because it made me motion sick, just for the simple fact that my feet were planted to the ground, but I'm seeing buildings go by at 200 miles an hour. So as far as sim racing in VR goes, the next wow moment that I had was Project Cars on the Oculus Rift CV1. Because for a variety of reasons. One was the CV1 was a little less blurry than PSVR 1. Number two, I was able to race against a full grid of cars in VR, and I was able to race against, and it had full-blown multiplayer in VR, whereas Drive Club had full-blown multiplayers, but a lot of times those lobbies were empty because nobody was really into it. PSVR was niche and it was expensive. And then when GT Sport came along with the VR, it did not have a VR multiplayer. So that was one of the myriad of reasons that I went from PSVR to PC VR. So Project Cars 2 gave me the next big wow moment in VR. And then the third wow moment that VR gave me, and probably the biggest, was when I seen this game here, Automobilista 2, on the Oculus Rift S. This game is demanding, but it doesn't run like it. This game runs on just about any PC, and it runs beautifully, and it is the sharpest looking game I've ever seen in VR on just about any headset. when I talk about the best looking VR game that I've ever seen, you know, I felt like F122 and F123 were the best looking VR games that I've ever seen in terms of the assets. You look over off the track and you see a full lawn of grass there, not a few blades on top of a green carpet. You look up in the stands and you see actual fans in there, and every one of them is moving. So the fans look alive. So much detail. And then like the night races on F122 just blew me away.
Skadoodle
So
said, "Wazjuwa up."
Oh, whatever that was. But how's it going? And so this game here, you know, the fans on this game look like paper cutouts. And in terms of like the details, like the grass, for instance, that all depends on how high you want to turn the settings. But without a doubt, this remains the sharpest sim racing game that I have ever seen to this day. The sharpness looks good on any headset. It was already super sharp on my Reverb G2, but this, seeing it through the MetaQuest Pro, added the colors, you know, and brought the colors to life. And so every time I put the headset on and play this game, I just look in amazement, and it's still like that to this day. It's just I'm not a terribly big fan of the multiplayer. So all that being said, I think I'm going to do a couple of single player races, and then we'll go in and have a look at the multiplayer. But with the multiplayer, whoever the host is, they can set whatever license you need to get into that session, and then, you know, it depends on what car class they choose, tracks and everything. Now, unfortunately, the stands here, the fans in these stands, it's all paper cutouts. But I get it, because they gotta save resources. And that's one of the reasons why this game looks so good and runs so good. Another reason why is, yeah, they took shortcuts, but it's shortcuts you don't see unless you go out of your way to look for it. So one of the shortcuts that they've taken as far as the VR optimization goes is, you know, and I'll show you guys too, you get out of the car and the car doesn't have any tires, it doesn't have headlights or tail lights, it doesn't have windows. You know, this is all the stuff they took out of it in order to allocate resources in other parts. But even those cutouts down there still look sharp. And colors are rich on all of them, so wow. So yeah, let's go ahead and let me get my gloves on. Let's do a race. And I don't know what it is. The Corvette is kind of slow compared to the rest of the cars. But it's something about that car that on this game I always use it. I use it, it depends on the situation whether I use the Corvette on GT7. And they got the older Corvette there. I think they got the Corvette C7, I believe it is. And this one has the C8. So Polyphony Digital really needs to catch up and add the new, the current generation Corvette to GT7.
Skadoodle said, "Let's get it."
All right, let's get it. It's amazing how this 4090, I still have to tweak settings a little bit. You know, the contact shadows. So like with ACC, when the cars get into the distance, that contact shadow underneath the car disappears. But this game, everything is set on ultra, so everything is still there, no compromises. And it feels so good, and the picture is so sharp. I just remain amazed every time I see this game. And then to be playing this game now on the MetaQuest Pro, I get the sharpness that I had with the G2, but now that, you know, the colors just
Game volume is a little loud.
game volume. Okay, I'll get to it in a second. Here's what okay, give me a second. I'll turn the game volume down. Sorry about that. And turn the mic up. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better. One thing about all these different sim racing titles that I stream is they the audio and microphone levels output differently. So sometimes I have to go back and listen to the replay to check the audios. But yeah, it's definitely different. And then it also depends on the headset that I'm wearing too. Like whenever I would wear the G2, the mic would be absolutely like just blasted, and I would have to turn it down. But let me know if this works. Also has just as much detail as F123 in terms of if you lock the wheels up, you'll see the smoke coming from underneath the car, just like in F123. The collision damage is pretty good on this car, on this game too. So if you do a race with the collision damage on, you definitely can't doing any of that bumper car shit like you do on GT7. Just like how clear that is, just unbelievable. Even though they try to take me out. Yeah, it's so detailed that when you lock up the wheels, as I was saying, you can see the smoke coming from underneath the tires, and you can see it in your rear view mirror too. I just locked up the wheels. You can hear the screech.
Sound is better.
Okay, cool. Although I hear having a little bit of a hard time hearing the speech chat though. Just look at that detail. I can read everything on the cars. Was gonna take me out or not. Sounds incredible. back and check that comment because I couldn't quite hear it over all this noise, the cars. Severe damage? I barely touched him. I hope I came into the right pits. Because depending on what the class of the cars are, the pits are in different spots. Oh, no pit here. Oh, I know where the pits are. I stayed out here. There's only 2 laps to go. Oh, I see where the damage is. Suspension on the left side. Suspension on the left front. I might as well stay out. The pits. That's where I was supposed to go in at. I was expecting a warning for that. Locked up the tires. Wasn't paying attention there. Trying to look at the tire wear. one thing about those brake markers with this game. You got 150, 150. This one, as soon as the first one comes into view, all of them come into view. Whereas other racing sims, like ACC, GT7, when the first one comes into view, I see 150. I can see 100, but I don't see 50 clearly until I get up, until I move up another 50 meters. So in short, is when I get to the three brake markers, 150, 150, I see the first two clearly, but the 50 marker is still a little bit fuzzy until you get a little bit closer to it. Whereas this game, the minute you see the first brake marker, you can see all three of them. It's just that clear. Okay, let me come back to that comment because I barely heard it over the game audio. Well, I'll do another race and change tracks. So 1 second. Oh yeah, yep. Skadoodle, how you doing? Yeah, you're right, Skadoodle. That Porsche does sound insane. Give me 1 second, please. I need to go to the bathroom in the worst way. I'll be right back. Okay. We'll stick with you know what? Let's go ahead and give the Porsche a whirl. And let's try a different track. Ooh, I do not like Snetterton. I've seen Spa more times than I can count. I've seen Kyalami too. Okay, let's try Bathurst or Brands Hatch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And I'd have to say, I think it was this game that probably blew me away first. Seeing a night race on this game, being able to see clearly, even through the Rift S, back when this game first came out. So the Porsche in this game, I believe, the Porsche 992 that was just added to Assetto Corsa Competizione sounds a lot like this Porsche. I think I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and move on to another track. Let's see if Mons is on here before I decide to go with Brands Hatch. Daytona's on here, but that track is so flat that you don't see the corners coming until it's too late. There's Imola, which I know that one pretty well. Suzuka, which they are calling it Kansai, but this is actually Suzuka. Kyalami, Laguna Seca. I'm not sure Mons is on here. Long Beach. All right, let's give Suzuka a whirl. So I'm starting 14th. All right. Let's go. up the front wheels. Tried it. Probably wasn't the best spot to try it, but I still tried it. Trying to get that spot back. Locked up the wheels again. Heard it. Up the wheels again. Last lap. Severe damage. So much for that race. Listen to that. Still fun though. I doubt that I'm going to. Let's have a look, just for curiosity's sake. Here's a GT3, but they're already in the middle of a race. They're 20 laps into a 29 lap race. So I am looking for a GT3 race. Here's a Spa, but it's locked. A Bathurst. They're in a race. So I want GT3 or GTE. Oh, that Montreal race at the top is locked too. So yeah, they got a lot of locked races here. So yeah, these lobbies here like don't look good. And they're doing Bathurst Historic 1983, so I don't know what the deal is with that one. So yeah, I'll go ahead and leave it there. Yeah, just amazed by how good this game looks. Still looks good. It has aged very well. 3 years later, it's still the sharpest looking sim racing title in VR. And this Quest Pro makes it even better. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hang it up. Chill out for a little bit. Grab an ice cold Diet Coke or something. And watch a little bit of YouTube and go from there. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'm sure we'll do something. I go back to work Thursday. I'm sure we'll do something again between now and tomorrow evening. So just keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully, I need to get in touch with him and find out when we are going to resume our F123 co-op career. I'm hoping we can do it tomorrow, but I think it's going to end up being Thursday because he's on vacation for the weekend. I don't know if he's back yet. So with that, I will see you all soon. And until the next one, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. We'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good one.